All right. We'll slide to the left. Okay, good morning. We're going to start our live with some deep breathing. 3 cleansing breaths to do some emotional regulation. Send a brain notification, and we're about to use it today. I'm going to count you in a descending order, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. 3, 2, 1. Slide back in frame. Good morning. I am Dr. Donna Louise Thomas-Rodgers, daughter of Leslie Darnell Thomas, granddaughter of Arthur Jethro Evelyn II, and great-granddaughter of Levi Thomas. Welcome to your morning mental workout. Good morning, Sean. Today's topic is Working Memory Wednesday. That means you're going to have to put your thinking cap on because we got some exercises we're going to do today, strengthening your working memory. Yay, yay. All right. Before we get this Noah party started, we are sponsored by H2O, the elements of hydrogen and oxygen. You need to have a bottle with you. And yesterday I got caught up and I didn't say, drink water. And you say, drink water. So right now we all gonna drink our water. Yes. You need to hydrate your brain. Your brain is 75% water, according to the neurologist on TikTok, Dr. Bing. So get your water in before you get your coffee, your tea, your anything. You got to have some water. All right. Before we get this brain party started, and Regina, while I have your captive attention, I wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank Jared, and I wanted to thank Lorenzo personally because of things that you all said to me. I got the revelation of revelations on top of revelations. It came to me in a moment this morning. So yesterday, Jared was on my second TikTok live, and he said it's a lot of emotional trauma and pain from his childhood. And I said it was there, unfortunately, because hurt people, but you got to break all that shit down. And then Lorenzo said in a message to me, Amy is under control, but Lala is loud. And then Regina, in turning in her information yesterday, we talked about comfort zones. And I woke up this morning after I had to put Lala's ass in a timeout, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I had to go downstairs to my library because I said Lala is the shadow. That's in the book, The Tools. Regina has read that twice. Sean should be reading that book. It's a great book. Now, here's my edition. Mine is old. Y'all have the revised copy, but this is what it used to look like. This is what it used to look like. And there, right at the beginning, as I was looking for the shadow, well, not right at the beginning, because it's a couple pages in, on page 18 and 19 and 20 was the comfort zone. The comfort zone. And because I now know that Lala and Amy, well, Lala is actually your shadow. That's why you got to comfort and calm her down all the doggone time. Your childhood's like, oh my God, mommy, I'm scared. But the comfort zone, that's what my tirade was about on Monday after Neuro Clear, because here's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. And they got what for and more on TikTok Live today. Here's what happens. You have a comfort zone. And what you're doing is playing it small. And you decided that that wall I keep talking about, you don't want to break that wall down because that's causing pain. So you keep your ass back in your little comfort zone. And what happens is you build your day and your life around staying small and staying in comfort. And you don't ever want to break those walls down. And even though you got endless possibilities, AKA real leadership, you can't do it. And not only do you not want to break those walls down, but you have taken pain and replaced it with pleasure. And good morning, G-Man. I still don't have that email from you about your clothing line or the message from you. And so all day long, you are seeking pleasure, and pain is a bad thing. And so what I sound like is pain, 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 pain. And go to Instagram, get some pain, 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 pain. And then do a 30-day challenge. Pain, 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 pain. Do some related resources. Pain, 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 pain. That's all people hear. Pain, 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 pain. And they're like, pleasure, 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 pleasure. So you just surrounded by all your pleasure, all your stuff. And what I'm saying is you got to get through those doggone pain walls so that you can get the unlimited possibility. And so what the tool says is reversal of desire. Knock that shit down. That's what I told Jared. Get a sledgehammer and start knocking that shit down. So we had a very interesting live on TikTok. And so that's what's happening. And so yesterday, Nola's appointment was supposed to be 5 curtain rods regular, just 118 inches up in the air. And then that's not what happened. What actually took place was the client ordered curtain rods. And not only did she order the strips, the curtain racks that you use for patios, but she wanted them in her house. She used the measurements. Person came when they built the house. There's a new home, and they measured all the windows for custom shades, but they only ended up getting them in the common areas. And so she used those measurements to order the actual rods. All the rods except for one were too big. 4 of the 5 needed to be cut. These are metal. These are metal tracks. So Nola had to use a hacksaw to cut them. So an appointment that was only supposed to take 2 hours took 5 hours and took us out because we did not have snacks or nothing. It was right up the street, everything. And she came outside and told me what we needed to do. And I said, I'm going home. We 10 minutes away. I will fucking walk. I said, what? She said, I got to get the saw. So I was just quiet for most. And then the first room that we went in was the son's room. He has a day bed with a trundle and a Nordic doggone old school treadmill right in front of the window. So Nola had to put her ladder right in the crevice. It's about that much space and that. So she's straddled over the Nordic 118 inches up in the air with this thing that she had to make 5 inches on each side. And because the client didn't have the curtains, we would really, you can't really eyeball a curtain rod. It's better when you have the curtains. And so that took me all 1000% completely out of my comfort zone. And that's why I am every day in her business, because I will hit 15 walls in one damn appointment. I'm like, and now you got to put the lap. And then the studs weren't 16 inches apart. Still, then the hardware was malfunctioning. I was at that first one like, oh, how much? I was just having a hot flash because of stress. And then after we got the system for the first one, she had to end up being in a joust so that we could use wood screws because the hardware was failing. The studs weren't working. I said, this right here is in fucking insane. But we got it done. And the client was happy. And they're having his mother and the mother and his sister and his mother, the spouse, are moving in with them, which is why it was a necessity to begin with. That was the beginning of our day. That's how we started the day. And all of you got messages for me and everything else. And Sean was the only person because she was talking about me building the drawers. I'm like, well, we had an appointment right now. Let me tell you, this going a whole lot different than that drawer appointment. I ain't no manual for this right here. No manual at all. And so I am challenging myself just the beginning. Whew. Yes. Challenging myself all day long. There is no comfort zone. And I asked some of you, I think it was in a personal accountability broadcast. I said, what's the most challenging thing you've ever had to overcome? And you all shared. And I asked Nola, and she said, I asked her, I was like, well, which one can I? She said, your life. Just don't, because your whole life. And I was like, no, but I got to have one thing. I got to have one. And she's correct. Because I have been knocking walls down my whole entire life. So I can't just pick one. But I thanked all of you all because it was interesting for me to read that and say, because I took a leap of faith, because I'm like, fuck this, I'm gonna learn how the brain functions. That is the answer that I gave, because that is true. That's the current most biggest challenge of my life, because I ain't got no brain background. Not at all. This is some complicated shit that I'm having to review and give to you in a way that's palatable and easy for you to understand. So my point to you as we get ready to do work and memory is check your comfort zone. Because you built your whole life around your comfort zone. And the examples that I used on TikTok, and unfortunately, Denny tried to, and Denny tried to come. There's a couple people that got their asses handed to them this morning on TikTok. We just alike. Oh, we just alike? All right, you sure about that? They found out they're not like me. And then Denny wanted to go, and I got Denny and Dan mixed up. So Denny came and said, I was talking about this article that I just got published in for Go Bank. And I'll post it so y'all can read it later. That's not the point. So Denny was like, yeah, you just like me. I said, stop saying y'all just like me. I said, the brain wants to compare you because that came from jobs and schools. Y'all are you're not just like me. You're just like you. And that's it. And I said, are you Denny, the mechanic that became a welder? And he said, nah, I'm the chief aide for the mayor of my city. I said, your city? Yeah. What city? He said, Camden, New Jersey. I said, how is it that it's your city, but you're not the mayor? And I said, let me look up aide. I think I know what the definition of aide is, but let me go on here, 56 years old. Aide is the assistant to an important person. So I told him, you the assistant to the important person. You in a comfort zone. And then I said, Camden, New Jersey, that's Camden? Did y'all do something different in Camden, New Jersey? Like that ain't something to be bragging about. You 56, you supposed to be working on your personal legend. You in a comfort zone. And oh, by the way, if the mayor don't get reelected, you're going to need a new job. You over here talking about a welder. You are the assistant to an important person. If I ever came to Camden, I was like, I want to talk to you. I need to talk to the mayor. You can't make no decisions. You can't. I have a lot. Yeah, because you're the assistant. You're the chief aide. Yeah, you got a lot of fucking paperwork you're doing. And he didn't say nothing after that. He couldn't. Comfort zone. Once I said, I said, I don't care how much they put in front of that. You an aide. This your job description. Google. He told me to, no, he did tell me to Google him. I said, I ain't Googling you. You the chief aide to the mayor. What the fuck I'm going to Google you for? You ain't got no decision-making power. Why would I talk to you? You the aide to the important. I said, you ain't no leadership position. You can't make no policies or nothing. You ain't going to be at the press conference or nothing else. Bragging about being in somebody's assistant. It said literally the aide is the assistant to the important person. How the fuck you gonna go home after that? You probably on your way to being an assistant to, that's the description of your job. You ain't it. You standing next to the important person. But how many of y'all got comfort zones? You don't want to get out your comfort zone. So I figured it out. Now Monday makes sense. 48 hours later, here we are. People don't want to get out of their comfort zones. It ain't me, it's you. You don't want to get out your comfort zone. I sound like pain. And you have built your life to ensure. That's why I'm like, I don't like germs and I don't like assembling shit. Hell yeah, I'm going to work with you every day, Nola. I got to attack this shit because if not, it's going to attack me. I'm not breaking down these walls. I had another wall. I'm an educator. So people, I should be just giving this education away for free and nobody should pay. And I'm like, but now you keep getting trolls. You need a system where it's neural clear. So yeah, you're going to tell, that's why I said it. I'm going to be nice and I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. And now that I know it's comfort. You built your life to be small. And that's why I kept saying it on Monday. I'm like, you could be extraordinary. You could be extraordinary. All you got to do is knock down those walls. And those walls can be knocked down with new neural pathways. Neurologically knock down those walls because the comfort zone is up here. It's not out here. It just manifests itself out here. That's it. I'm doing well and I'm speaking right now. So either sit back and listen or you can exit stage left because you distracted me with my train of thought. My point is this. Everybody got a comfort zone. It's up here. And every time I tell you to do something, you don't want to do it because that's disrupting your comfort. Right. That's why I told Jared said, I'm going to chip away at it. I said, no, you're not. You're going to take a sledgehammer to that motherfucker. You ain't chipping away at shit. Dismantle it. The fuck are you gonna chip? You got it all chipping away. This ain't art. You got to dismantle it and discard that shit. That's what you got to do. So the next time your ass thinking about you not gonna do something, just go ahead and think about. We thought we had 5 curtain rods that was high in the air, and the last one was across the 12 feet worth of windows. Up. Thing bended. We didn't bring 2 ladders because we thought we was gonna be quick. Imagine if you think something gonna take 2 hours and it take 5. How likely are you to stay and get it done? And it's way more complicated. You got to go back to the car and get a saw and make sure it's even and straight and neat. When you thought you was putting curtain rods up and you putting tracks so they slide this way. 5 different windows, 4 different sizes because 2 of them was the same size in the same room. Where you get that at? Amazon? And if Nola hadn't, you know how many curtains, we'd go to her page and look at curtains. How many curtains that we done hung up in order for her? And the client was like, well, can you do it? And the husband came, well, is it possible to get done? Because she didn't want them in the ceiling. She wanted them all over the window pane. That's two different types of hardware and everything else. So I'm saying, fuck your comfort zone. And I mean that. And now that I know it's because you're seeking pleasure, and I read the tools, but I hadn't read the tools in a minute. And if I hadn't told Regina to read it and I hadn't told Sean to read it, I wouldn't even have. And Regina sent comfort zone last night. I was like, that's what it is. Let me go grab my book. Blinds and shades and the highlights too. Okay. Thank you, Regina. I appreciate it. Yes. All of that. And so everybody gets to their comfort level and then you stay there and then you want to brag about it. And I had people on TikTok bragging about it and I dragged their asses all through their fucking comfort zone. So everybody would be discomfort for the rest of the fucking day. Because comfort is overrated. Comfort keeps you small. I call them ants. Because that's what it is. Homeboy talking about he is the chief aide to the city, the mayor of the city of Camden. And he said that shit like he was fucking working and he was royalty. I said, it's Camden, New Jersey. Was it a hard job to get? I mean, really? Was it? So anyway, we're doing working memory today. And as I said, I was trying to make it simple for y'all. And Nola was like, when we got off the live, she said, no, you said maintain high standards. Your standard is excellent. And the only reason why, because again, I thought it was a whole bunch of different reasons. People was giving me all kind of excuses. And it's because you want pleasure? Because you don't feel like being in the pain that it takes to grow? That's the only reason why? No, hell no. Fuck that. So we're going to be doing working memory today. It's working memory Wednesday. Now, think of your working memory as your brain's mental notepad. It's the temporary space where you hold and juggle information while you use it. Every last one of us are using our working memory right now in this moment. So it holds short-term details. And the chat wants to say a phone number. People don't even dial phone numbers no more. So imagine if you walked into a building and you needed directions to get somewhere. And you ask the security person, the person at the desk, hey, how do I get to this office here? And they say, okay, you got to go up the steps. You got to make 2 rights. It's a blue door on the left. And when you walk in, it's the third door. It's the third desk on the left. That's your working memory. You got to remember 4 to 7 things all at the same time to get you where you need to be. That's what you use. So it's holding short-term information to get you to the next thing. Next, it updates quickly as new information comes in. Every day that you're here on the live, you get new information and it's being updated. You're on Instagram subscriptions, it's being updated. You get to be able to be in a 30-day challenge. Really, the resources RO 365 is updated daily. And what I am doing is actually strengthening your working memory. So when you get a message from me to say, where you been for 3 days, you didn't work on your working memory. And your working memory is what you need to navigate through your day. That's why I'm saying you got to be on there every day, because you're doing your neural real leader reps in order for you to be able to get to a point where you couldn't put curtains up and now you're putting up tracks and you got your ladder over a treadmill. That ain't some shit that just happens overnight. 4 years ago, she wouldn't have been able to do that appointment. She had to be on Khan Academy to get the math right and everything else. So yeah, it sounds simple, but it's been 4 years, 4.5, almost 5 years of day in and day out, 2 to 3 appointments a day, 6 days a week. So it connects the pieces together so you can solve problems, plan, and make decisions. People in comfort zones can't never make decisions. That's why they always call something, I don't know what to do. I was thinking about it, but I don't know what I'm going to do. And then you go talk to another motherfucker in their comfort zone and they don't know what to do. So then y'all start creating dumbass plans. And then that shit don't work. And now the hippocampus remind you the last time you did that, the shit failed, but it was a dumbass plan because you asked another person that was in their comfort zone. They're not going to give you wise counsel. They're going to give you comfort decisions. Everybody, all 3 of y'all on the phone, all on FaceTime. So what should I do? So then, and what's it? And then, and it's all coming from a comfort zone. So you ain't never going to be able to put the pieces together. You ain't going to be able to solve problems. You ain't going to be able to plan. And you ain't going to be able to make no decisions because you got your whole comfort council of comfort decisions. Everybody, well, but is it 6 days or is it 3 days? So I don't know. No, you really shouldn't. No, don't do that. Just stay home. No. And then it keeps you focused by ignoring distractions long enough to finish the task at hand. You can't even get normal shit done. You can't even get the normal things of your day done because your working memory is atrophied. You're just like, I just don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like doing that laundry. You know what? I'm going to just order some DoorDash and I'm going to just Netflix and chill. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go on here because it is Wednesday and it's fall. I'm going to just get some comfort food and sit in my comfort zone and do my comfort shit. I'm going to scroll. I'm going to read me a good fiction book. That's what I'm going to do. I'm a half-ass craft. That's what I'm going to do. Can't get your regular shit done. So without working memory, you couldn't follow directions. You couldn't do a dual and back, nothing math related whatsoever in your head. And you can't even hold your own train of thought. You said what? You can't even hold your own train of thought with a weak ass working memory. What was I saying? What was I thinking? What was I? And so you build your life. And I want y'all to be 1000% honest with yourself. Is your life built so you don't have to take risks and challenge yourself? Have you built your life so that you don't have to experience growing pains? Your day-to-day life. Tell the truth. In your day-to-day operations, is it you are making sure you don't have growing pains? The lookers ain't gonna answer. They can't. 2 people dropped off. Shit, she saw me. Build your life. Every day you need to have some type of wall that you to knock down. That you got to knock down every day. That's why I helped my daughter, because I wasn't chilling. I wasn't up shit. She had just got finished. We had just finished homeschool, graduated a year early in fucking COVID. So let's be clear. I wasn't coming out of, I just been sitting here with my little cute self, reading my books, teach people real leadership. No, it ain't never been like that. It ain't never been like that. That's why on the drop, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need my working memory working. You got home. Not true, but was before I started school. Yep, it definitely was. It definitely was. And you feel better. And then what happens is I can't sit in the comfort zone. I'll be looking at people like, how the fuck is you doing that same shit from last year? Why and how are you doing that same shit from last year again and again and again? It's redition. It's not tradition. It's redition. It's a rut that looks like tradition. Your ass is stuck in a rut and now you want to call it a tradition. It's a redition. That's what it is. We getting 'tis the season to be reditioning. Getting ready for Halloween, gonna throw your ass into Thanksgiving, and then go on into Christmas and slide into New Year's and make a bunch of promises and lies to yourself in January that you know by fucking February you ain't gonna do. And I got a checkup, a video that shows up every year in February to say, so how them New Year's resolutions doing? You still doing them 30 days later? I think it comes up on February 1st. It's in my memories on TikTok, on Snapchat and Instagram. How them New Year's resolutions doing? How they doing? What you doing? What's up with your New Year's resolutions? No braino? Okay, got it. Roger that. That's what I did. Okay, let me scratch that off my notes. You hit home after I failed on part of the business. Yep. You got knocked down and stayed down. And you said, I've fallen and I'm not getting up. Sure did. That's why people don't want to go. People to subscribe and they ain't did shit with that subscription. Got caught up in the moment, got that message from me that told them what to do, and they act like I ain't sending them that message. I'm like, I see the scene. Y'all saw it. You just didn't do shit. Comfort. But I'm going to call your ass out now. No one is safe. No one is, I know I said a safe space if you ain't trying to be comfortable. If you trying to be comfortable, I am going to make sure you experience discomfort. And one person, when I was on the live, tried to make Denny feel better. And they said, well, what she trying to say is, and then they got dragged. I said what I said. You don't put no words in my mouth. I'm a solo act. Don't be trying to make him feel better. None of y'all should fucking feel good for building comfort zones. Why would I make you feel good? I said I got 5 communication certifications. I said what I said, how I said it on purpose. He over here trying to be better than the fucking welder, and he is an aid to an important person. Yeah, it takes a minute. Happy to be. It does. Because I'm a mirror. And don't know about y'all supposed to be using your mirror neurons to say she taking challenges. So let me take a challenge. But you looking at me in your comfort zone and you're like, yeah, that's cool. Where is my pillow? Because I couldn't understand it. I'm like, how the hell you see me doing all kind of shit? I got stories and articles and everything, and you over here stuck. But now I know you seeking pleasure. If you like, ooh, that's painful. Why would you do that to yourself? That's so painful. Where the potato chips at? Where the potato chips at? And then you build this nice little fake ass small existence. So you volunteering on local boards and stuff. And you the person that got all the supplies at the office. So everybody got to come and ask you for the supply cabinet key. You sitting there and then you work the administrator at the school. You're like, who would you like to see? I'm going to need to see your ID. So you think you important. And not that job ain't important, but you've been doing that for 30 years. I told him he was 56. If you are over the age of 50, you're supposed to be working on your personal leisure, not building your comfort cocoon. And I also told them, all of the people who decided they wasn't going to subscribe, I said, in a year, you're going to need new neurons for something that's going to happen next year, and you ain't going to have neural pathways to do it. And I told them, go ahead and go look at your comfort shit, all your Nike SBs and your stilettos and your pillows and shit. Go ahead and talk to them and see if they give your ass an answer. All this shit you done accumulated, all your plants and flowers and crafts and shit. Go ask your crafting room. Go talk to that glitter motherfucking glue and see if it gives you some answers to the problems that you currently have. How about you do that? Because I went downstairs to my thing that I collect, the tools. And that's what I got. I got a bunch of fucking books. That's what I have. I got more books and shoes and wigs and clothes and anything else. And I knew exactly where it was because my house is organized. Let me grab this as a resource to use. Because if it doesn't benefit your brain, why are you doing it? If it doesn't benefit your brain. I want to rebuild. I threw that stuff out. Right. So your comfort cocoon makes you feel like you're bigger than you are. Your comfort cocoon makes it seem like it's okay for you to be regular as shit. Your comfort cocoon says, everybody can't be extraordinary. I don't want to be outstanding. Oh, it's too much responsibility. No, you just ain't got the fucking neural pathways to get that shit done. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You are neurologically inept. That's what's fucking happening. And now you want to make it seem like you're not. Well, I like living in a small town. You just small. The town just happens to be where you at. You small up here. You small up here. That's what's happening. Small up here. You got afraid when you was young, and then you just said, you know what? I'm gonna take the path of the path of least resistance. And everybody is on that rundown, raggedy ass path of least resistance, and you want to brag about it. You want to brag about acquiring shit that was already here. I'm not impressed with any of that. What the fuck did you create? That's why Envy's video is up there. Envy created that video and set the standard for the whole damn class. That's why it's there. Because it's the standard of excellence. Set and maintain high standards and got extra credit. This is what happens when you apply yourself. And that shit was complicated as hell. That's why the teacher said, hey, can I use this for next semester? Sure. Absolutely. I am the standard by which excellence is measured. And you don't feel that way. And the reason why you don't feel that way is because you ain't knocked down enough doggone motherfucking walls. You ain't been through enough. You don't have enough scars. You don't have enough emotional damage. You don't have that. You ain't got enough change wounds. You don't have enough change scars from clawing your way out of a fucking hole. You don't have that. You climbing up fucking mountains and shit. You don't have that. That's why when I tell you all you got to do, because you misrepresenting yourself. People tell me all the time, oh yeah, because I did this. I'm like, oh cool. All you got to do is this. Hold up. Wait. What you got? I thought you said you was this. I thought you said you was this person. And that's why Denny thought he was saying some shit to me. I'm like, I got people elected that's sitting in Congress right now. I got pictures with the mayor of motherfucking Las Vegas. That shit ain't impressive to me. I went to high school with the motherfucker that was the mayor in Detroit. Kwame's ass, they got arrested. He was a senior when I was a freshman. Give a fuck about a mayor? They got to answer to the governor. It does. Everybody like, yep, tell Day. I said, no, I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to all y'all sitting in comfort zones. No one is exempt. 5.9 billion adults sitting in comfort zones, deciding, well, I'm gonna do this part, but I'm not gonna do that part. You either, it's all or nothing over here. You either 100% personally accountable or you're not. Ain't no half-ass. Lukewarm ain't gonna do over here. And that's why everybody's sitting on the live. I said it's awful quiet in the comments. Y'all ain't got shit to say. Ain't no trolls over here saying nothing. You can't say nothing because you sitting in a comfort zone. No, I'm not. That's why Denny's ass got fucking dragged with that bullshit ass title. He fucking damn assistant to an important person. I would quit my job the motherfucking day. I throw that shit on the desk, say, fuck y'all. I ain't no damn assistant. I ain't never, at 50 something years old, I'm going to sign up to be an assistant to an important person. Hell no. I assist Nola. I gave her that whole fucking business model. Ain't nobody confused. I'm still me. But I know that she needed a whole business model and she needed that put in place. And I needed to teach her that because she was 18 when she started. But let's be clear. I'm still me. That ain't my primary motherfucking gig. That's her stuff. And I tell people, this is her business. This is her business. This is her business. This is her business. This is hers. This is not mine. It's hers. That's different. But I'm not going to be bragging about being a motherfucking assistant to an important person. I would be giving my 2 weeks notice if that were me. And I'd be like, is that what the fuck this job is? Oh, hell no. Here you go. I will eat fucking ramen noodles. I know how to put some cheese on some ramen noodles. I'm not going to be the assistant to an important person. You saying I ain't important, but they are, and I'm standing next to them, and that's my job, is to assist the important person? Yeah. I've been leading since I was 14 and a half years old. That dog ain't going to never hunt. But if you want to make it seem like you're doing shit so you can talk to your family, your meager family members, well, you know, Denny, he the assistant, the chief aide to you. I said, is that the chief of staff? You're not even over the staff. You the chief over the people that assist and stand next to the important person. You can't even be the chief of the other people, the real people that help make policy. You like over there. They like inviting you to the staff meeting. Like you like not the chief of staff. You the staff of the staff. And you bragging about that regular ass bullshit of my city. Ain't your city? It's where the fuck you was born. I said, listen to how they got you thinking. That ain't your fucking city. It's the city of Camden. Unless your last name is Camden, that's not your city. My city. Bullshit. Anyway, so here's my definition of working memory. Working memory is your brain's temporary desk. It holds the information you need right now while you think, plan, or decide. It's where you juggle ideas, recall details, and organize your steps before they move to your long-term memory storage, which is in your hippocampus. And so without it, you lose track of what you're doing. It's like misplacing your thought in the middle of a sentence, unless you're perimenopause and then the fucking brain is doing what it wants to do. A real leader strengthens working memory daily through focus, repetition, and mindful practice. I'm going to say that again. A real leader strengthens working memory daily through focus, repetition, and mindful practice. When you are on Instagram and you are interacting in the stories and the broadcast channels and the chat and everything else, you are literally doing focused, repetitious, mindful practice to strengthen your prefrontal cortex. The act of going there daily is strengthening your basal ganglia to say, I got to do something daily. I got to do something daily. I don't care if it's Sunday. I don't care if it's Monday. I don't care if it's my day off or not. I got to do this daily because you are strengthening your brain to be able to knock down those pain walls. They're actually growth opportunities to knock them down. That's why, Sean, when your business failed, you didn't have a strong prefrontal cortex and all of the things that you needed, the resolve and the memory to say, we did this shit before. We failed. This ain't shit. Keep it going. You didn't have the mental strength to keep going. And so you got stuck and got froze and got frustrated. You didn't go regroup. You didn't go sit in your default mode network because you didn't know what it was. You didn't say, I'm going to do some self-reflection in my default mode network. You didn't have an actual strategy, so you couldn't go back to the strategy and say, where did this go left? What do I need to redo? Because if you got a strategy and it goes left, you go back to the strategy. Okay. Oh, got it. This is the part we need to fix. But you had a dumbass plan. You had a dumbass plan given to you by either you did it yourself or you talked to some comfort people, and that's why I went left. And then you didn't have nothing to go back to, and you was just like, what the fuck do I do now? What do I do now? Because you weren't strategic the whole time. That's why I said have a why and have a strategy. So when it does go left, because it's going to, because people going to be peopling, hijacked amygdala is going to be hijacked the amygdala in, and your own Amy and Lala going to be popping off. You need some tangible shit in your prefrontal cortex that you could go back to, your why and your strategy. That's why I'm still here 12 years later, 10 toes down, because I got a why and a strategy. Has it evolved over time? Absolutely. But 12 is a year of completion. I'm complete. Now that's why I'm out here in these doggone streets saying it's your fucking brain. It's your fucking brain and your comfort zone and your fucking amygdalas left and right. That's why you can't get shit done. Don't you fucking blame the government ever again. That shit is on you. What that got to do with your house? Why your dishes ain't clean? Is that 47's fault that your dishes in your sink are dirty? That you can't find shit in your junky ass house? Is that the mayor's fault? Is that the school board president's fault? You 30 pounds overweight. Who fault is that? Who shoveled that shit in your mouth? Was you force fed? I think not. Absolutely not. And I told them on the live, I said, y'all over here talk about what the elected officials do. Ain't nobody paying attention to y'all but me. And they need to do this. And what you doing? Where you at? In your comfort zone? Don't say that. That's where you at. Hold up. It's on me. It's on me and your community, your household, your friend group, your retinue. Y'all, fat folks up together, eat food together. That's what y'all do. and then sit self-righteously judging everybody else. No. Let me see your blood pressure. Let me see your cholesterol levels. Let me see that blood work. What's going on with you? Oh no, that's private. That's personal. We're going to talk about that. Why not? Because you feeling uncomfortable. Cancel culture. You can't say that about me. I can't. I can and I shall. Someone needs to call you on your shit because you're not being extraordinary. That's why I was pissed on Monday. I don't know if I can do that, Dr. Donna. What the fuck you mean? Why? I'm arguing with you in your comfort zone? We having a conversation about discomfort for you. That's because that's what that's about. You hear me say knock down a wall and you say, Jared, I'm going to chip away. No, I said knock that shit down. I said dismantle it. You can't chip away at something if you dismantling it. You're going to have to use bigger equipment. You're going to need an excavator to get that shit. You can't be like using no stubby hammer. I'm going to knock this down. No, you're not. No, you're not. And what it is it's all the older you get, the more comfortable your ass get, and the harder it is for you to get out of that comfort zone. Well, can an old person learn? It depends on how stuck you are in your comfort zone. That's what it depends on. Well, how long is it going to take? How long you been comfortable? How long you been comfortable? That's how long it's going to take. Now, you can dismantle it quick, or you could chip away at it. It depends on if you're ready for real, or you just talk about being ready. Then it ain't going to happen for you. But you're not going to keep coming over here, looky-loos. You're not going to keep coming over here and feel like it's okay. Well, it ain't in your time. It ain't never time for you. We 20 years in on you still not doing it. When? When is the clock going to start? It's got to start. But it's like, I'm not doing that. Nola had to go back to Khan Academy in second grade math and get that shit done to be able to do that project yesterday. If I hadn't told her to go to Khan Academy, there is no cursing mountain. There is no shades of nothing because all that shit is math. There is no mounting because you can't mount shit without math. If I hadn't been me and I hadn't been doing all my shit, I'm like, I don't care. You better go. Did you do your math today? Did you do your math? That's crooked. No, you got to give them an hour off. You fucked that up. Go get some spackle. And now those are not things anymore. Those are not things anymore. But if I wasn't me, then I would be like, oh, it's okay. She could be in a comfort zone. She got mental illness and all of that. So she's doing the best she can. No, that ain't. Be the best. Not the best you can, and be the best ain't the fucking same. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best. No, you're doing the best that you fucking can inside your damn comfort zone. Because that is not your best. It's not your best. This time last year, Envy was struggling with math. That's why I posted that video. That's why I posted it. Because all that, and you got to do this, measure this, do this, that was the issue. One. And now the standard at school, the standard by which excellence is measured because of putting in work, put in work. You're not putting in no fucking work. I don't know if we're going to get to 10 questions a day because I need to say this. But your working memory ain't fucking working. It's unemployed. And it done ran out of benefits. That's what's happening. That's why when I say do something, it seems hard. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. I have been hokey pokey in it for way too long. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That shit ain't gonna work, Jared. You got greatness inside of you. You just buried that shit. Your fucking comfort zone is sitting on top of it. And Envy said, I shocked myself. There you go. Because can makes the impossible possible. See how these principles of real leadership work? Y'all ain't going to the website every day looking at them. I shouldn't have to put the link in the doggone chat. You need to be looking at that list saying, which one I'm going to use today? Which one am I going to use today? And I say them and they go right past you because they dodging you in your comfort zone. You're like, Cal, I don't like can to make the pot. I like to have fun. I like to relax. I like to take naps. I like that one. But persevere during times of adversity. Oh, shit. Failure is not. You act like it's fucking rats crawling on you or some shit. That's what's happening. That comfort zone is sitting there. But that's okay. So go ahead and get you some note-taking materials, although I don't know how many notes you're going to be able to take because most of this is mental. We're going to do this. Okay, I'm going to give you a number, and I'm only going to say it one time, and you're going to type that number in backwards. I'm going in hard today. I'm going to give you a number, and you're going to listen to this number, and you're going to type it in backwards. Right. You have a question? Go ahead, Envy, before I start the working memory. So your working memory is what you use all day long. And people will say, your working memory is temporary. Yeah, it's temporary because it's based upon the task that you're using. You're using it all day long. That shit ain't temporary. What you're doing might be temporary, but using it in all of your awake hours ain't temporary. That's why you can't navigate through your damn day. You got a weak ass working memory. Working memory is on sleep, not fleek. Do you know what's happening when my working memory is fairly good, but my long term doesn't hold up? What is taking place is that you are not accessing your long term memory enough, and so it can't remember. So you need to strengthen your whole prefrontal everything. So the reason why you can't recall it is because you're not using all of the other regions in your brain. So that's what's taking place. So you can do short term, but your long term memory ain't long term. Because if you go back, it's the memory library is the name of the YouTube video. And I don't think you were back yet. But if you go scroll through my lives and look at the memory library that talks about the hippocampus and the long term memory, and it's actually exercises in there for you to do it. So it's called the memory library. So if you look at all the titles, I think it's like maybe 2 months ago, somewhere around there. Got it? See how I had a resource already ready? That's because I'm knocking down walls every day. Memory library live. Yep. Go to the live tab and scroll down. And it's a brain in a library as the JPEG. So that'll help you. As Lola says, sometimes I try to write it down so you can remember it. Yep. And again, the working memory, when you have a whole total brain that's physically fit, it's almost like, Envy, if you haven't lift weights and then you go back to try to lift up the weight, it can't. It's like, this is difficult. So you're trying to recall it because it's not high functioning. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all a 4-digit number, and then y'all are going to repeat. I'm going to go ahead and say it twice. Okay, 4-digit number I'm about to give you. You're going to type it in backwards. I'm going to give it to you forwards. You're going to type it in backwards. 3482. 3482. Type it in backwards. Okay. Regina's back. That's correct. 2843. All right. Now I'm about to say, ain't nobody going. I looked at these yesterday. I was like, shit, I thought I had a good working memory. Damn, chat. Okay. I'm about to say 5 words, and then I'm going to talk, and then I'm going to come back and see how many of these words that you can remember. I'm going to say these 5 words, and then I'm going to talk, and then I'm going to come back and ask you what these 5 words are. Do not write them down. Lamp, river, courage, apple, jacket. Lamp, river, courage, apple, jacket. So anyway, while I was sitting on the live talking to them, several people tried to compare themselves to me. And I said, you are not me. Send me your shit because I need peers. Send me your shit. Where is your shit at? Because we just alike. We're not just alike because you around. And that's what I be telling the people around me. See, you still around people that need to be told that. That's why I know we're not alike, because I don't have those people in my life. But go ahead. Send me your shit. Email it to me. Send me the links in Instagram. Well, who are you if you think you are me? And I told them to stop doing that. Because you are not like me. Because we said some of the same things doesn't mean we are actually alike. And the brain is using those somatic markers to try to grab shit because people want to be compared to people so that they can say, I'm better than you, I'm worse than you, because of superiority complex and inferiority complex. That's the damn problem. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's you versus you. What were those 5 words that I said to you? Type them in. What were the 5 words? ... Let me know you're thinking. Brain. Thinking emoji. Lamp, river, courage, apple, giant. Lamp, river, courage, apple, jacket. River, courage, lamp, apple, jacket. Lamp River Courage Apple Jacket. Okay. Roger that. Sean is thinking. Carriage Lamp Jacket River. Lamp River Courage Apple Jacket. Okay. Sean is thinking. See how the working memory works now? So that recalling, MV, is for you, short-term memory recalling. And then if I asked you to say, what were you doing in 2012? You have to go back and really think about what you were doing. That's not the question, but that's the example of having to go back with your long-term memory versus a short-term memory. Lamp River Courage Apple Jacket. Excuse me. Uh-oh. Dang it. Okay. Next on the list. Spell brain backwards. Okay. All right. I'm going to say these three shapes forward. You're going to say these three shapes backwards. Circle, triangle, square. Say them backwards. Type the words I said back, not type them in the reverse order. Don't say them backwards. Type them in the reverse order. Circle, triangle, square. Okay. I don't feel like going to my timer. All right. You have 30 seconds to type as many words that rhyme with the word light. Light. 30 seconds to type as many words as you can that rhyme with the word light, starting now. Light. Starting now. Ten seconds. $20 seconds. Time. All right. Type them up. Jared has sight, right, fight, might, bright. Jasmine has right, height, bite, slight, midnight, fight. Nola has bright, height, night, night, fight, night, sight, kite, bike, psych, fright, flight, snipe, excite, ignite. Lola has kite, might, night, right. Regina has might, sight, night, bright, night, night, right, sight, height, slight. Envy has light, fight, right, trite, night, or night, fright, blight, bright, sight. Happy to be has bite, right, night, spite, light, and Sean has sight, night, might, and fight. So give yourselves a round of applause. for making it through the working memory exercises for today. Now, my question to you is, how does your brain feel now? I said yours, Nola. I said yours first. I will say them again. I literally read them all. Bright, height, night, night, fight, night, sight, kite, bike, psych, fright, fight, snipe, excite, ignite. I said yours right after Jasmine. Yes, ma'am. Because Nola is working on her sounding of the verbs. I mean, the rhyming. All of them rhyme. Bike and psych, light. I can see how you said bite and psych. Those are the two that don't. Bike and psych. Yes, bike and psych are the only ones that need to be removed. All right. So had a workout. That's what Regina said. How does your brain feel? I think Happy to Be said clapping. So that's how hard your working memory needs to be working out in order to be able to be a bad motherfucker. And then more. Because like yesterday, brain felt energized. So that's what you need to be doing instead of being in your comfort zone. I had to think, good. I got to be more attentive once more. So this is how you end up in your, and let me say the Dr. Donna quote, working memory is not just where you hold information. It's where you hold yourself accountable to use it. Real leaders strengthen it daily. And that's right here. Working memory is not where you just hold information. It's where you hold yourself accountable to use it. Real leaders strengthen it daily. And that is what you are doing on Instagram. You are loving it over there on Instagram. And I'm assuming that you are because you're still over there. And you're having this neurological experience and you can't really describe it. But you're like, oh my goodness, it's this. And Lorenzo posted a thing with the lady playing the air. And it was all these otherworldly, neurologically sound experiences. And that's what you need to be experiencing every day. But your comfort zone is saying, but we want to be comfortable. Got to put the working memory to work. That's why I said your working memory is unemployed. Now, if you're doing that every day and then you get 5 curtain rods, are you going to be like, damn, but are you going to be able to complete it? Because that's the moral of the story. The whole thing, we had a strategy. We thought we were going to be done. We had some stuff we were going to do. We didn't bring enough snacks or nothing, but we stayed and got it done. Got it done. For a very good reason, because the people that are going to be using those rooms need the curtains because they're at the front of the house and the doggone sun is there. If you live in the desert, that sun ain't no joke. So your working memory isn't working, and now you want to blame the government because your working memory ain't working every day. And it's not just for you to hold shit. It's for you to be personally accountable. You can't hold yourself personally accountable every day if your working memory is unemployed. You don't have the neurological pathways to do it. You don't have the neurological pathways to do it. So as I told the people on the live, I don't give a fuck about your credit score. What that got to do with your daily working memory? The fuck? That's why the comfort zone got these things. I got a good credit score. I got money. Yeah, but I asked you a question and you can't give me a fucking answer because your working memory don't work. So why do I care that you have a Rolls Royce Phantom sitting in your driveway and you got people that come and watch it every week? What the fuck? I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you about information that you said you're supposed to have. Well, my staff has that. Well, where the fuck is your staff at? Because I need the person who got the information, not the motherfucker that's taking credit for having the information within inside the organization. And I said this on the TikTok live. When I worked at Frito-Lay, I understood raw materials, turning to finished goods, and shipping in the supply chain and selling in the marketplace. That's what I learned in almost 10 years of being there. I didn't say, well, that's not my department. I don't know how they do it in the warehouse, but how we do it in traffic. And I don't know how they do it in manufacturing, but how we do it in sales ops. No. I knew how everything worked. Everything. And I can still say it. Supply chain. We look at it. Nolan and I like, ooh, look at that Peterbilt. I ain't nothing better than a Peterbilt tractor. I like an old school looking tractor. We like, damn, why the fuck did they still make they made new cab overs. Cab overs are dangerous. Impact. The engine is supposed to drop out when you don't have a cab over. It's too much going on. I don't know why we still fucking making them, but they are. Brand new ones. Makes no sense. But I know that and I can look at that and I can understand. I was in Smith's the other day and I heard somebody in the other aisle putting Frito-Lay chips on the thing. I know how the bag sounds because I done had to do that. But you over here being regular and shit, all because you don't want to work your working memory. But everybody enjoyed this today. Now you're like, ooh, I want to do that again. I want to learn something. That's why everybody love elementary school kids, because they still learning. Their working memory is functioning like a motherfucker. And then middle school comes and it stops. By high school and college, all you want to do, you got to specialize. You got to specialize. You got to know what you're going to be. And now basically they say just pick your comfort zone, pick where you're comfortable, and spend the rest of your fucking life in that thing. Comfortable as shit. And then I come, no, that's not sound. That's not, I don't have to do that, because yes, the fuck you do. You can't even think straight. See you later, Lola. Or tomorrow. You can't even think straight because you can't think. So you can't think crooked. You can't think straight or nothing. And then you sit around needing to want to do something. Yeah, I want to say, I done told, you know how many times I told people send me their shit and they didn't? Because they knew it wasn't shit. Yeah, I'm working on my send it to me then. Where's that? Where's that? I send you to mine. There you go here, go there. I got it. And Nola, I ask her all the time. I'm like, I wonder if people think I was in the military or not. They think I'm lying. Show them the photos. just say a couple things military-esque. No, nobody think you fucking fronting. Who lied about that? Yeah, so I was in the field for 30 days. Fucking shit sucked. I stunk. I had to throw all that underwear away. Can't use that no more. Anybody, the stories don't even, you can't even make this shit up that happened to me. Who's lying about the fucking battery box and the Humvee catching on fire and I got to roll out that motherfucker while we're going 55 miles an hour down? That ain't even a story like you could kind of try to, you ain't never seen that. You ain't never been in the military scene, and because of the poor maintenance on that doggone vehicle, you ain't nobody be like, yeah, that sound like, you know what, we watched that movie. I said, you didn't? You didn't even know it was possible. Well, I said it was non-potable water. We got to fucking wash off in hot-ass rusty water and use cold water to rinse it off. Water so bad you can't brush your teeth in it. No one's making that up at all. But that took place. But I kept persevering during times of adversity because that was my first duty assignment. That was my first assignment. It wasn't the last, but it was the first. And then I went and had 4 cycles, training privates. Then I went and I was the S1, the S4, and the HHD commander. So that's why when I said the most challenging thing, that was like, it's my life. I do this, but I help Nola every day. And then behind the scenes, I'm sending out shit. And I'm in my own book challenges. And I'm on my own class. I'm still continuing my education. So that's why I'm like, oh, you just want to be comfortable. No, fuck that. I'm going to make you discomforted as hell. I'm going to make you discomforted as hell. Because at first I was like, well, you can post once. No, you going to post 10 times a day. If I was posting 103 to 113 times a day, you can do 10. Because the only thing that's stopping you is your comfort zone. I thought it was something else. I thought it was like something serious. You just don't want to be comfortable. You just don't want to knock down that growth wall because you want to be comfortable. You want to be small. Oh, you got antitis. I get it. I understand. Smaller palooza. That's what you're doing because everybody say big fish, giant pond. No, your ass ain't in no water. You sitting on the curb. You fucking ant. Going to look for a little fucking crumb. And you over here thinking you doing something. You want to brag about the little fucking graham cracker crumb you got today. Look at my little graham cracker crumb. You didn't do shit. Somebody dropped it. You didn't even go searching for it. They dropped it and kept walking, and it got dropped right in front of you, and you picked it up. And now you want to brag. Don't be bragging about that shit. No. The comfort zone, I've been saying comfort zone is over fucking rated, and I mean that. You are not using your working memory if you're sitting in the comfort zone. It don't take shit to fucking live like that at all. Stop fucking talking about what the government doing. What you doing? What you doing? Where's yours? It's everybody in their comfort zone. Well, did you see what did you understand that part? Did you hear what they're doing to the military? Oh my God, they done repealed all this stuff. And your ass won't even change your nail polish. You won't even stop wearing a hat or start wearing a hat. You won't even eat off the other side of the menu at your favorite restaurant. You ain't changing shit, but you over here demanding excellence from somewhere else, from somebody else. Everybody doing it. The government, why won't the citizens in their comfort zone? Everybody sitting in their comfort zone deciding how somebody else can get out of theirs, but they good. I'm good in mine because no, you're not. Your working memory don't work. That's why can't nobody solve shit right now. Everybody like, why they do that? Why because they got fucking emotional dysregulation and a fucking unemployed working memory. That's why the day-to-day is fucked up as hell. Why they do that? Why they just waking up every day making stupid ass decisions because you are neurologically inept to actually make a structurally sound decision. You can't do it. And you make it, and if it go good, you want to take credit. And if it go left, you start looking for somebody to blame. Just carry a mirror around you. When shit goes left in your life, just say, who the fuck is responsible for this? Shit, me. Oh, okay. Hey, Daisy. That's what's happening. So, no, I am not going to calm it down. I'm not going to make you feel good about making comfort choices. I want you to be extremely uncomfortable saying that dumb, small ass, weak shit to me. I want you to feel like that ain't Galaxy. I'm not even about to say that. That shit is zip code itis right there. It it won't even make it out the city. That's oof, that shit is small. That is challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to get out your zip code. Challenge yourself to get out your city with your mind. That's what you can do. Because that's what one of the 74 principles of real leadership is. Use those motherfuckers. They work. Because I'm not just telling you to leave your comfort zone. I'm giving you a fucking foolproof strategy that's gonna make it so you just gone. Every time y'all done said something to me, I done sent y'all a link. Here you go. Here go the strategy. It ain't a dumbass plan. Step 1, step 2, step 3, you go straight down the list. Jerry said he working on goals. Here go some SMART goals. Sean said she working on business. Here go a whole fucking strategy for the next 90 days. But you can't do what I'm saying if you got emotional, to Jerry's point, if you got emotional dysregulation, if you done built your comfort cocoon and your daily life is surrounded by ensuring that you avoid anything that makes you uncomfortable and you seeking pleasure every day and not pain, growing pains. You don't want to grow. You don't, because that's too hard. So you just make sure you over here and it kind of looks like growth. So you kind of go get a new car or you go get a position that's a little bit different than the one you had, but it ain't hard enough to make you feel like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this. That's what's taking place. And I will not tolerate anything less than excellence. Be the best, set and maintain high standards. That's it. Or go away. Why would I keep wasting my time on somebody that want to be regular? You just walk down the street and be like everybody else. Walk amongst the regulars. Walk around amongst the comforters. So my question to you as we go today is, what did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? And what you going to do to dismantle your comfort zone? And drink water. Drink water. Got it, Regina. My nose is itching. Yes, I got it, Nola. I'll take the thing off. I have them. I just need to put them in a frame around them. Jared said, I'm going to do more reps to stay in my prefrontal cortex. Nola said, I learned about myself. My working memory is improving. Did well with the activity. It is. You definitely did better. But you had to get that emotional regulation going on. Because it was creating all that damn brain fog. Y'all hear that? That's damn. Don't live by a golf course. Don't do it. Save your mental health. I learned I need to work on my working memory more. It's got to be on purpose, because that is how you navigate through your day. You find yourself not being able to navigate through your day and you are stuck in your comfort zone. It's because your working memory is not high functioning. Nola said, I learned today that, well, we are all always talking about it. The pain that comes from growth and change and endless possibilities are on the other side. Exactly. Because you're basically saying, I don't want to be in pain and grow, but I don't want to be stuck in my comfort zone either. But I don't want to be in pain because you're doing too much. So then you do fake growth opportunities. You go to a seminar and workshop and shit. We'll take up a hobby. I learned my memory is a muscle, and I learned a lot about myself. I need to be working it out. My brain convo was with my mom about my amygdala and how it needs to be regulated before I work the job I'm going to for school. Yes, I understand that, Emmy. Yeah, you got to have emotional regulation to be a CNA, for sure. My conversation about my brain is being happy from emotional regulation. I got to go get the tools today from the library. Yep. Yes, you do. It is a great book. It really is. It's going to help. It's going to help you with your shadow, Jared. Yeah. So, and the one thing I would say is everybody loves talking to Dr. Donna because Dr. Donna got the answer. Y'all know how many fucking walls I had? You're off today. Great. Y'all know how many fucking walls I had to break down to be able to answer you on a dime? I don't even think you think about that. It's not even something that occurs to you that I couldn't read. So I couldn't read to the point where I'm reading and retaining to tell you what you need to do. You know how hard that wall was to break down and read the books that I'm currently reading, to be in a neuroscience class. And you take that for granted, but I had to be discomforted too in order to be able to break this down. I got to listen to high level shit and come back and bring it to y'all so it's palatable for you to understand. And you taking that for granted as if I didn't have to knock down a bunch of walls to be able to tell Envy to go watch the Hippocampus Memory Library video. That had to be researched. I had to do it. And now it's a resource for Envy. Jasmine Field says, realizing the impact of grief on my brain functioning. My first time here, I already feel better. Well, you'll feel a lot better if you go subscribe on Instagram because you'll be increasing your working memory and regulating your emotions too. Subscribe on Instagram. Oh, you're back. Okay, Lola, I thought you were gone. After that small test, I need some water and don't have any right now. I'm walking around in circles. Can't get nothing done. I'm understanding water more. That hit hard. Okay. All of it should hit hard. That's my job as an educator, to bring out the best in you. Because it's there. It's just underneath your comfort. It's buried. Way, way down in the valley. That's where it is. Way down. Retaining and recall are my weaknesses too. I will rep it out. Exactly. And so, although my methods are very much unconventional, they work. They actually work. I spent these 12 years ensuring that these things would work in a way that's customized for you. This is no cookie cutter. All of you are having different neurological experiences for different neurological reasons because you all have different brains. Brain convo was to finish the patio and did it, but after a full blown out Amy and Lala moment with the spouse about his order of wrong measurement cut, we still covered the damage of the patio. Got it. I didn't see any of your other stuff, Sean. You're learning. I didn't see that. And what happens is with that, Sean, handle conflict when it occurs is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. So emotional regulation doesn't mean that you are not going to have conflict and that you end up having a loud exchange with someone. What it does mean is that when that is over, anger means something needs to change. When you calm down, you handle conflict when it occurs and you said what happened, what went well, what didn't, and what are we going to do about it. So now you have a strategy that's in place. And the other principle of real leadership that helps with that is apologize when you are wrong. If you are wrong, yeah, but no, I apologize for what I did, what I said. And then when you're dealing with another real leader, it's simpler because they understand what took place. So ask questions, handle conflict when it occurs, and apologize when you are wrong helps when those moments show up, because they are going to show up, because anger means something needs to change. It's a notification that what you just did is not working to the point where there was this extra energy that took place. That's what took place. So no more comfort. And the reason why I'm grateful again to Jared Zoe and Regina, was because I'm always putting things together. I'm an algorithm. And I am trying to find out, and I'm saying trying on purpose because this is very difficult to discover, is what is stopping people from doing what I'm saying do. Where is the blockage? Where are all the different outages that people want to feel comfort? And now I know you're seeking pleasure every day. You build your life in this pleasurable experience because you don't want to experience growing pains. That's stupid. I learned it's okay to be uncomfortable. Discomfort. Pay attention to this when I see it, because you show me, myself, and I did not like what I saw. I will work on my memory and pay attention to, but I can't do it. Yeah, but you can't do it by yourself. You need to go subscribe to Instagram. That's the other thing. You think you can, but you can't, because you haven't gotten rid of your comfort zone. You don't even know what you're seeking. You haven't regulated your emotions. And I forgot who had a question the other day. I think it was dang it, Bridget, who said, "Can you still be a real leader working on your stuff and still be around unaccountable people?" And I said sparingly. She asked for neurotoxicity versus neuroclear. And so you can't. And you're telling yourself you're going to be able to do it on your own. You're not. You absolutely can't. Because you live in a comfort cocoon with a bunch of comfortable people around you. So you can say you're going to do that, and you can tell yourself that, but reality is you want to say that, but you're scared to actually go subscribe on Instagram, because that would mean be personally accountable to actually do the work. So you're saying you're going to do the work yourself. You're not. You're not going to do it. You don't even know how to do it. So I don't even know how you can say I'm going to work on it. By doing what? What you going to do? I need to work on it. That's not enough. Not enough. So I will not be accepting that. You can say it to yourself, but it's not gonna happen. You need adult supervision right now. Somebody that's already done it day in and day out. Somebody that's fucking kicking in doors like I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme or Jackie Chan or somebody. Not gonna be able to do it at all. It's the hardest thing to do, is to get out of your comfort zone and attack the walls of your growth opportunities. You do not have the neural pathways to get it done. Ain't gonna happen. Not. And I'm not gonna let you leave thinking that you can't. You can't. You know how. You do not know how. You do not have the ability to do it. You can get the ability to do it, but it's not gonna work. Sean, I am learning about myself to clean out everything that are attached to pain, knock all of that down so I can have a better way of thinking, as well as face the uncomfortable stuff head on and don't hide it. Yeah, because your comfort zone is hiding all of your, and I said that on my second live yesterday, is that you hiding all this stuff. You hiding it and you don't want nobody to know about it, and that's, you can't hide shit and reveal shit at the same time. Show me where I need to go on Instagram because I just don't know. I thought I was on Instagram here. No, Instagram is a different app. And if you got to download it. You got to download the Instagram app, and then my username is at Turnaround Doctor. So go in your app store and download Instagram, and then search at Turnaround Doctor and follow me, and then message me, and then I will tell you. So that's your work and memory growth opportunity today, is to learn how to get that done. I'm an hour and 13 minutes in. If you need to hear those instructions again, come back and scroll to an hour and 13 minutes in, really like an hour and 12 minutes. So download the Instagram app, set up an account if you don't have one. I am at Turnaround Doctor. Follow me, message me, and then I will give you a screenshot to tell you what to do. Because that's the other thing that I noticed yesterday. Happy to be me. I'm using you as the example, is that I will do all these things for people. And now I know I'm doing that because your comfort zone doesn't have the ability to do that. So I will not be doing that anymore. I will be giving instructions, because that's that you're going to use your working memory to get all those tasks done. I'm giving you instructions. Now you're going to get a mental workout behind that. And I'm not talking about telling Envy to go do the thing. If I got the link and I know where it is, that's different. But I'm saying these other things, you are going to have to do it. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I'm going to give you some instructions on how to get it done. And then you're going to go get it done. So comfort zone is the reason why those things are taking place. And I will not be signing up to help you stay in your comfort zone. I will sign up to donate some sledgehammers, some mental sledgehammers to break that motherfucker up. I have no issue with that. Here's how you tear that bitch down. Here you go. Dismantle 101. We could do that, but not gonna happen. Okay, so thank you for your time today that you have invested in yourself. Thank yourself for this investment of breaking free from your comfort zone, using your working memory. Now you know what it feels like when you actually are using your active working memory versus autopilot, because everybody wants to say, get off of autopilot and get off of autopilot. How you gonna get off of autopilot? What's the strategy to get off of autopilot? That person the other day told me they was using their non-dominant hand throughout their day. How's that gonna get you out your comfort zone? So if I made y'all use your non-dominant hand through the working memory exercise, do you actually think that you would have felt what you felt with all those different exercises? Absolutely not. That's not going to help you. And after 21 days of using it, basal ganglia is used to it. So that ain't even going to work no more. It's new information. The working memory wants new information every single day. That's how it works. So if we think about a car that needs either being plugged in or oil and fuel, your working memory needs new information. When you take the new information and you learn something and it puts it in the hippocampus, and now you got a new skill, you got some new information, and now you can use that later on. You put all that information together, and that's how you end up being your best every single day. That's how that process works. So you can keep taking in that same ass shit, watching season after season of the same thing and doing the same thing again, and you're going to be stuck. It makes you feel like it because they got NFL players get different uniforms, different players. That shit don't work. Have a great day, Sean. It don't work. All right. So I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Safe space for people who don't want to be comfortable. If you want to be comfortable, it's going to be extremely unsafe for you. You're going to be discomforted over here. I won't say unsafe. Like, she's threatening us. It's not what I'm saying. You will experience discomfort over here, but in a safe environment where you will be able to get strong and you will be able to knock down those growth walls. I will be back tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do not know what the topic is going to be. It is Thinking Thursday, so you will be using your brain. Bring your thinking cap. Take care. Adios.